We've created these videos to remind you of the power you have to navigate your feelings, thoughts, and actions.
Welcome to day one.
What is mindfulness and what is meditation? I wasn't planning on doing that, but let me cover it right now. So for the sake of what we're doing, let's just go ahead and say that mindfulness simply means being aware. Mindfulness is nothing more than being aware. Meditation, for lack of a better word, let's just go ahead and say meditation means listening or being receptive. So that is to say, meditation includes mindfulness, but mindfulness in and of itself is not meditation. Why would I say that? Well, to the extent that mindfulness is simply being aware, and I've even seen this a few times this week, but goodness knows I've seen this plenty of times over the years and over the decades, is that people will fall essentially into an intellectual or emotional trap of being aware that they are being aware. And no shifts occur, no changes happen. There really is no growth. They're almost caught in a groove or stuck in some kind of a loop. And this is why you can encounter people that can say, well, I've been doing mindfulness for so many years, or I've been doing meditation for so many years. And there still may seem to be a lingering quality of dissatisfaction about them, or a lingering quality of being somewhat unsettled, or they seem to stay in a loop, a seeming loop of emotional reactivity. So to the extent that we do mindfulness, again, we can sometimes find ourselves or even notice others with the best of intentions, I believe, simply being aware that they are aware. And even in conversation, it may come out something like, well, this is just who I am. I understand that I can be offensive, but that's just me. That's a perfect example of being aware that they are aware, and really not making any change or any shift. And so if I can try to articulate all of this just a little bit better, to the extent that we're talking about mindfulness and meditation, mindfulness, as we're doing it consistently, as we're doing it with fidelity, what we're looking to do is to be more aware of the quality of our thoughts, of the quality of our emotional state, and perhaps even the quality of the stories that are fueling what we might presume to be thoughts, and being more aware of some of the emotional needs that might be fueling the quality of emotions that we're experiencing, or the quality of emotions that maybe consciously or unconsciously where we seem needing to experience. Now, meditation allows us to take the next step, which is to say, through reflection and, more importantly, integration, be able to make some of the shifts to enable us to be our better selves, to affirm that we are our better selves when we make that choice, when we choose to make a discipline and to follow through and to be consistent. And even within that process of consistency and discipline, of being gentle with ourselves.
Together.
So again, I'm looking at this
So
a little bit deeper.
I always talk about gratitude. People that work with me a little bit more closely in organizations and small groups and coaching sessions, they always hear me talk about that the secret to life is surrender and gratitude. And that's just another way of saying being grateful, right? Being thankful, being appreciative, and not for any kind of a transaction. Somebody did this for me, therefore I'll do that for them. And I guess I'm grateful for that. No, that's really more to do with transactionality and obligation. And there might sometimes be a little bit of a feeling of guilt or some kind of other emotional baggage. And we're not going to worry about that right now. But true gratitude, real appreciation, and understanding that things don't have to be how they are now, and they could certainly be a lot worse. And we're willing to see that every situation, there's not just a silver lining, but there's a wonderful opportunity to do great things, to do bold things, to do big things. Not in a self-serving way where it's all for us and nothing for you, but in a way that, yes, we're certainly benefiting, but we're benefiting because we can benefit or bless somebody else. That kind of a gratitude, or maybe even deeper still, an appreciation in knowing that something good is happening for somebody else. And we're not even worried that we're being directly impacted in the moment, because we have a deep understanding that if somebody else is winning or if somebody else is doing well, that we're going to be doing well also, or at least there's an opportunity that if something good can happen for somebody else, my goodness, it can certainly happen for me too, right? And so we're just going to, if you haven't had a chance to check out previous sessions, we're going to make sure to put links in those previous sessions down below. So check out the description of the video. And if you haven't given yourself an opportunity to check out other sessions, please feel free to do so. We're also going to make a point to, with each session, highlight at least one segment of the session. So that way you have something that's small, that's compact, that's easily accessible, that you can get to and share for friends, loved ones, people that you might serve. Our commitment to you through this series of videos is to really help you build up just some fundamental techniques around mindfulness, around meditation, around reflective practices. So if you're at all having any questions about any of the techniques that we're going over, email us. That's fine. Question at healinghouseyoga.com, specifically if your question is related to some of the opening movements that we do, intentional movements that we do. If your question is more specific to the individual reflective practices or mindfulness techniques or meditative techniques, that's fine. If you have a question about that, send us an email at question@mindful, the letter I, consulting.com. Again, that's mindfuliconsulting.com. And we'll be happy to answer that question or acknowledge that request as best we can, as quickly as we can. Again, we want to make sure that you're feeling not just confident, but supported in your practice. So with that, the intention